Emma Brooke, thank you for joining me, and I wanted to do a short video today to talk about that feeling we get, that pressure that we get to perform, to be something, to be good enough in whatever way, shape or form. My dog is joining us today, by the way. This is Tilly, and hopefully she'll be good and won't try and eat my headphones. And I wanted to talk about it because it's come up for me recently in a few ways. I often sit in front of my computer and think about what I want to say to my group, to you guys on my Facebook page or on my YouTube channel, and I sit there and sort of wait for inspiration to hit me and think, oh my God, I don't have anything to say. I don't have anything good enough to say. I don't have anything worthwhile enough to say. I don't have anything that's going to help you enough. And fortunately, I'm kind of pretty adept at catching myself when I go into these sort of ego states and pulling myself out of it. But it still happens, and it's really uncomfortable, that sudden feeling of pressure, of having to perform, of having to deliver on something and not really feeling adequate enough to do it. And I'm sure that's something that a lot of you can resonate with, whether that be in your role as a parent, as a partner, as a child, as a worker, as an entrepreneur, whatever it might be. I think we all have those moments, and this is part of the human condition, and I think really why we're all here learning is to try and get rid of this really deep-rooted belief that somewhere along the line we're not good enough. And that comes up for me, as I said, sometimes when I'm sat in front of my computer and I'm thinking about what I can say, what I can share with you guys that might be helpful, that might resonate with you, that might provide some comfort for you as you're navigating your life and your day. And it also comes up, I'm going to be honest, there are times when I've been working with clients and I've got a client meeting coming up and I suddenly think, oh my God, I don't know if I can help this person. I don't know if I'm good enough to help this person. I don't know if I have what it takes. And thankfully, I have a lot of sort of people supporting me and people who I've learned from. And I know that whenever that happens, there tends to be a little bit of like an ego and what we call in counseling transference and countertransference. So oftentimes when I pick up that feeling, when I pick up this feeling of, oh my God, I have to fix this person and I don't know if I'm good enough to do it, that tends to be when the person is maybe feeling that they need someone to fix them. And they're looking at me to fix them. They're looking at me to solve their problems. And I'm picking up on that feeling and then getting like pressured by it. But we can all feel that way. And what I wanted to share, which is something I shared in my group Fearless Consciousness on Facebook as well this week, is that whenever you get that feeling of having to perform, of being under pressure, of not necessarily being good enough or adequate enough, it's a sure sign you've gone into your ego state. It's a sure sign you've turned to fear instead of love. And it's a sure sign that you're out of alignment, and you won't probably serve in the best way from that place because you're coming at it from a place of pressure and fear. So what I tend to do, and what I'm hoping will be helpful for you if I share, is my own technique for dealing with this. And for me, it's been so valuable to become aware of these moments where I'm feeling like it's all on me. And of course, in Miracle States, when we rely on our own strength, we're kind of destined to fail because we're relying on our own strength rather than the strength of the universal energy which is around us and part of us. And we're kind of really selling ourselves short by only trying to concentrate on our own strength. So before every client session, I sit down, I give myself 5 minutes, I close my eyes, I center my energy, I ground myself, and I just say, please take my ego away from this equation. I don't need it, I don't want it. I want to come from a place of love, and I want to come from a place of service. So please help me to serve this person in the best way possible, in whatever way that might be, and through love. Please help me to hold a space for them and be a shining light for them, be an example of what it is when somebody truly sees you and accepts you and feels that you're good enough. And that really just recalibrates my energy, and I can feel it. I can physically feel the difference in my stomach, in my body. My breath slows down, my heartbeat slows down, and I can tell you, I serve in my client sessions so much more effectively than when I was maybe a student and I was still learning and I still had all that pressure because I was a student then, and oh God, I might not have the expertise because I'm a student. And thankfully, you know, I had a great supervisor who told me to kind of stop and get out of my own way. And the moment I started doing that, the moment I started realizing that it's not my job to fix, sorry, my dog is like trying to eat my keyboard. It's not my job to fix people. People aren't broken. And it's not my job. I'm not going to wave a magic wand and jump in people's heads and turn things around for them. It's my job to be there, to hold a space for them and to show them love and unconditional regard and respect and give them the space to find their own answers. It's not my job to come up with all the answers. It's my job to be of service and to just focus on being love. And that's what I want you to take from this. So you may not be a counselor, you may not be a therapist. I don't know what your role is, but anytime you feel that pressure to perform, you feel like maybe you're not good enough to do what you need to do, just take a step back and say, this is my ego talking. This isn't coming from a place of love. This is coming from a place of fear. And I don't need that in my life. You know, you have the power to choose. And it's so valuable, that knowledge that you have the power to choose. You can say, I choose love. I choose to be of service. If you can just wake up every day and say to yourself, how can I be of service today? How can I make somebody's day a little bit better? How can I fill the world with a little bit more loving energy? Then you will make such an incredibly valuable difference to the world. And, you know, we talk about the world and, you know, it's such a big thing and there are so many terrible things going on. Well, I saw a brilliant thing on Prince Ia's Facebook page the other day, and it was a quote, and it said, "We complain about society, but we are society." We complain about society, but we are society. Every single one of us makes up the society that we complain about, that we get frustrated with, that we get angry with because society's going down the pan and our morals and our ethics are going and everything's going wrong. And it's like, yes, and it's scary and it's a horrible place that we find ourselves in, where we're destroying the planet, where we're treating animals like they're nothing. You know, all these things are horrible. But the only thing we have control over is how we deal with our energy, and it is a ripple effect. Our energy is connected to other people's and to the rest of the universe. So all we can do is speak our truth, come from our place of truth, and ask ourselves, how can I be of service today? How can I spread more love in the world? And if every single one of us did that, we wouldn't have any of these problems. Our society that we complain about begins with us. Mahatma Gandhi, be the change you wish to see in the world, you know? It all comes from that. So it's not about you being good enough. The only thing you have to concern yourself with is, how can I be of service? How can I be of best service to the world today? And don't let your ego get in the way. It's not about you personally. It's about how you can spread that love. How can the love be spread through you? How can you be a vessel for the universal love that we all have access to? Can you smile at your barista and ask how their day is? Can you help somebody cross the street? Can you be of service to your clients more? Can you help a colleague who's having a bad day and struggling with something? Can you give your loved one a hug when they've had a bad day? You know, these little things will change your own energy. They'll make you a better person. They'll make you a happier person. And they will change the world. So that's my little few tips for when you don't feel good enough and how to get out of that funk and back into where you want to be. So I really hope that served you, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. Take care.